think it's safe to say map 1 shocked us all. A dominant victory for 9 on their side of what used to be their home ground in Vertigo. That form they seem to find out of just about nowhere. 1 win, of course, looking to put some demons to bed here on the map. They've also been incredibly proficient of late, but Norot is just continuing where he started. 1 ball to the skull to deal with early. Maybe information towards the side lane as the rest of this T side, they want to take B, and for now it's completely unoccupied. Boomich goes 1 for 1 in mid, but that's enough. The B bomb site open for business here. CT's seemingly very comfortable to have a crack at this retake, even without a kit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Sure, they have the numbers advantage, but as you mentioned, no kits, so they've got to move in quick on this one, and that's exactly what they're attempting. But Travis up close on that Glock makes it difficult. Forrester in behind the generator as well, takes out 1, but he can't quite finish off KEiiiii, who just about inches that pistol round in favor of 9. What a crazy round. A closer one than the pistols that went down on Nuke, as far as I can tell. We missed the second one, but I believe you said that it was a
flawless.
Yeah, pretty flawless one indeed for 9. So a bit more of a challenge here, definitely, to kick off Vertigo, but it's still the pistol round that goes their way. 1 win, they got the bomb plants, and they might force up into the Galils, but they might also look at 1 eco just so they can come into as strong of a buy as possible early on. But no, it looks like they're going to go with that first option, yeah. Get the Galils out, you have pretty decent firepower, almost on par with what the CT side have. It makes sense. We know this is kind of the standard play as it has been for a long ass time now. But let's see if it's going to be enough.
Especially with the shortened halves now.
Yeah.
Makes sense to get guns out as early and frequently as you possibly can.
There's a lot more pressure on you, especially, like, as you said, the shorter halves, but the economy has not changed at all, so.
Don't want to be losing an early man, however. And that's exactly what happens. Make it 2. Hades going down the A ramp has dealt with both Forrester and Boomich. Huge amount gained. 3 remaining T-side players are looking to make something of this push up the ramp. KEiiiii tagged down by the HE. Information available, but teammates looking to flood in support here. Travis does get rid of KEiiiii at the very least and looks to continue the rain from his pistol. 2 quick kills. Norot goes down. Goofy forced to hide inside of the smoke. Travis with yet another huge kill, but here comes that MP9 straight out of the smoke. Goofy with 2. Wants all 3, but Nickelback will finally put him down and buys his team half a chance here in the 1v1. Up close and personal, looking to play with the Galil, but Hades, no fear. Swings wide, grabs his third and final kill of the round. Grabs 9 a second as well. The problem for 9 is, and it's a problem they flirted with on Nuke, other than their miraculous pistol wins, they are going down to the last man. And they did it on the pistol, they did it again here. So the economy is never really establishing itself for the CT side. You can see even this round, they're going to be buying up a couple of MP9s to make it work. So all it's going to take is 1 round here for 1 win. At the moment, 1 little bit of magic would be enough to break the funds and give them something to work with, as it's a fast play towards A to start things off. This time, Hades won't be running down that ramp. The initial Molotovs are good for stalling, and they do actually convince 1 win to reconsider their options, at least initially. They bleed out a good amount of CT utility. Look to regroup down the ramp. Indeed, in towards the scaffolding as well, and actually look to bail out almost entirely into mid, just leaving Travis to hold on to this tarp for as long as he possibly can. The Tech-9 up close and personal can be so lethal, but Hades has read him well. And as the rest of the team storm out onto B, there is still presence here. An M4 and an MP9 ready to receive these techs as they come on out. Goofy, good for a 1 for 1, but his M4 teammate can't get anything. Deco and Forrester with a killer piece start to make this very sketchy. Norot manages 1, but again, the response is immediate, and into the 2-on-2, it gets very awkward. Forrester again on the tech finds another response and somehow gets the critical kill. I said it would take 1 round to break him. I didn't think it'd be so damn soon. Deco and Forrester with the Tech-9 headshots pull a miracle round out the back pocket for 1 win.
That was crazy, and going into that round, they spent quite a lot as well, so if they hadn't got the bomb plant, and if they hadn't won, obviously, then things could have been pretty awkward for 1 win. 9 could have had a great chance to stabilize in the early stages. Instead, they got overrun on B, despite having a good start with those initial kills even going their way. It's a rough one to lose, and it leaves them on what was, I believe, the double eco. And despite having not fully invested, they've spent most of their money. They're going to be keeping a small bit. It'll go towards getting a buyout in towards likely round 6, I would imagine. At this point, if they lose this, it would be an eco coming through. But we'll see. Pistols and Kevlar. We know back on Nuke especially, Nine did have quite a bit of success with these weaker investments. Oh, the timing on the push does find the dink on Deco. Unfortunately, the AK shuts him down. Oh, and the
That's a
attempt
tough
follow
one
up
to
the timing.
take. They're looking for these shots. Goofy not quite able to connect, though, and as he's punished by the nade, it is now 1-win, starting to thin the numbers. Handful of very swift kills go against 9, and despite that initial promising damage, not able to make anything of this pistol. KEiiiii grabs at least the one, and there is some low HP bars around him, but Deco able to put him down before he finds too many more of those. So we level things out at 2 apiece, and this is much more like it for 1-win. Starting to find their feet a little earlier here on Vertigo. Starting to look a lot more in tune, a lot more what we expect of this roster. And for 9, that CT side economy, as pesky as it always is, they're going to look at a half buy into this one. No real investment. Goofy's going to pick up a flashbang. Imagine we're going to see something a little cheeky. Norok goes for the P250 because, well, why not? And we're going to go apply some pressure in towards middle here, charging through with the flashbang. The flash, a little awkward. Boomich not quite as blind as you'd like him to be. Goes 1 for 1. AK recovered, but the rest of this T side are flying into the B side, which, of course, is grossly unoccupied. Deco and Travis finding kills. And again, this is just going to be a matter of mopping up as Hades accidentally, we're going to have to say, takes out his own teammate in KEiiiii. That's a little awkward. At this point, though, any damage is solid, and well, he's grabbed at least a couple of kills. Forrester is on a backstabbing mission, though, and Hades... Oh, he's aware. He spots his man out, but he can't quite find the shot. 1-win take the lead, and now things start to get really interesting as these rifles will come out for the CT side.
Very curious how the hell that team kill came about.
Just seemed like he got scared.
I think so, yeah. I can't understand what else. It's not like I don't think they were flashed or anything. I don't think there was really any reason that he should have been in panic mode, but he saw some movement and just shot. So hopefully he'll be hitting some nasty shots like that on the opposing team now as the half moves on. As we said, though, coming into round 6 was where we expected 9 to get back onto the guns, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Decent utility. No op and play, sure. They've got the rifles, and well, let's see what the plan is. I don't think there's a kit in play either, so they probably don't want it to come down to a retake. See, because of that, they actually want to press the issue here in the initial stages. It's Goofy. He wants to jump back across. He has a lot of help here, but unfortunately, it's not going to be doing too much for them as the initial kill goes the way of that T side. And with the trades back and forth, sure, it ends up in a 3-on-3, but 1-win can be pretty happy with that, especially with the ground that they're starting to cover elsewhere. Never mind. Boomich take it out in mid. That was their chance to really take control of this round, and likely it would have given them the option to split towards wherever they wanted. Instead, now Forrester and Nickelback are left working alone up this A ramp.
Oh, that smoke's missed, though. Did not mean to go there. Nickelback spotted out. Over on A, gives the information across to KEiiiii, smokes himself off, knows there's a man pushing up, but the spray is ugly. Cannot find anywhere near enough connection, and neither can Hades. Forrester, 2 huge kills up on site, and those were the kind of kills that were all going 9's way on map 1. The nerves perhaps starting to kick in a little bit now as KEiiiii has got to try and work his way into a 1v2. Deals with the first man well. Forrester is tagged down low here. Problem is, as you said, there's no kits available. There's no utility for KEiiiii either. He's just got to pray that he can draw Forrester into this fight as quickly as possible. And Forrester knows he's just got to play for the time here. Charged down by the rifle, however. It will be 9, stealing away a third. Down to the absolute wire, as always on this CT side. The last man alive just about gets it done, but I think we're starting to see those cracks in this 9 roster. Starting to see those shots that were landing on Nuke not being the case here on Vertigo, and it's leaving them in a little bit of an awkward spot. This buy not going to be great. The money is plentiful for 1-win as well, and if they can get this one on the board, it's another eco to follow, and they start to really string together a T side here on Vertigo.
Yeah, I mean, it's Forrester who keeps winning these fights that he should have absolutely no right coming out on top of. Obviously, won them their first round, managed to give them a chance in that previous round, a really good chance until it was saved, but it is definitely a better individual performance in the early stages from 1-win. Early ramp control coming through for that CT side. There's not a lot here to challenge, but there is one player waiting at the bottom, so they do need to be somewhat cautious, and it is the man I was just mentioning, Forrester, who looks to be in good form, but it's going to be a full-on B hit in the meantime. Just a little bit of a fake being sold around that ramp by one player. They don't pull rotations away, sure, but there is still only the 2 players on the bomb site itself to hold this off, and it's the MP9 of Goofy to start it in a pretty decent fashion, but unfortunately I don't know how much more he can do at this point as he's covered in flames.
Yeah.
eventually forced out a position and take it out, but it's a 3-on-3, so it's not a terrible spot for 9 to be in as the bomb only goes down now.
It's a chance. There is a kit on Norot this time, but it's a tough retake to make stick. The smokes will buy a lot of time for this T side to work around, and Deco knows it. Plays close to the Jennies. His teammates taking up after plants in and around the white box. The spam through continuing to connect. KEiiiii has got one, but here's Deco swinging wide. Immediately Trade comes in. Looks for more around the edge of the smoke, but he's dealt with well by Norot. And Nickelback is left. 1v2. Norot's got the kit and he takes the fight perhaps too soon. Hades now has to go to the corpse, has to go for the retrieval, and Nickelback knows it. He's just playing for time. He's playing that bomb for all it's worth, and he'll get the round. As much as he goes down, he plays that white box to perfection. It's a 4th on the board for 1 win, and unfortunately for 9, because they committed to it so heavily, it's only the one man saving into the next. That will be Hades. Teammates around him in a very rough position indeed.
Yeah, I mean, that was so awkward in the 1v1. That smoke down on the left side as well means he has to go wide if he wants to try and take the peak from that side, and so instead he steps back, waits for the peak to come in, and just doesn't have the time for the defuse anymore. 1 win.
It's one of those ones where I wonder if it's a player and not a coach, it goes differently, because Norot had the kit and he went for the fight first. I wonder if if you've been playing and you're feeling it and you've been playing a lot more games recently, maybe you don't make that swing, you let your teammate take it instead. Not to be. Hades trying to make that rifle sing early is punished for it. At least it's recoverable, but the man advantage now there for the T side of 1 win, and they can just slow this one right down.
KEiiiii at the very least recovered that M4, but ideally you'd want it in the hands maybe of Nora. Obviously he is the coach, but he's the only one with Kevlar. I guess it doesn't make much of a difference when you get naded and shot without being able to do too much at all. And boost dismantled. Nora gets 2 of them as he pushes in towards the scaffolding and is now left in a winnable 1-on-2. Forrester though has been on form. Despite the low health, he's not going to let Nora have anything else to say. Ends it with 2 players left alive here for 1 win. A bit closer, I think, than they would have liked. So the damage is definitely being sustainably done. 9 have a chance technically here in this round to almost break 1 win down completely after this reinvestment. So you can see the opening right back into the game, but 1 win right now are looking like almost a whole different team in comparison to what we had on Nuke. Yeah,
completely different. Much more proficient. Norot doing everything he could in that round, does very well. Little unfortunate Forrester, the man he has to face in that critical 1v1. Would just about anyone else you might have backed him not to be. They're looking for the aggression in mid this time, 9, and they've got it. Goofy and Norot well set up to trade the kills down. Buy themselves that man advantage that they've struggled to find for so long. xTRAVIS takes a ton of damage through the wood as well, down into the single digits. He's losing teammates. Meanwhile, KEiiiii blinded up. Spam down onto Deco connects, and at this point, this round again is looking very, very awkward for the boys of 1 win. Forrester caught on an off angle by KEiiiii as he looks to make his way up the stairwell into the B site, and xTRAVIS, well, he never had any health to start with. Norot takes full advantage for his 2nd of the round. And as you said, Dean, that was the breaking round for 1 win. They only had 1,400 loss bonus coming in. They lost a lot of bodies in the previous round up against the half buy of 9, so this one's going to look very ugly. Handful of upgraded pistols, you've got to imagine nothing much more than that. So the doorway is open for 9. Good rifles across the board for the CT side. And yeah, here comes the investment. Handful of techs, deagles, a little bit of utility to try and enable some kind of a faster play, you have to imagine. And hope that Forrester and Deco, we've seen it once before from them on the Tech 9s, pulling off a little bit of a miracle. Hope that maybe that can happen again. KEiiiii smokes out the molly, wants to press the issue, wants to deny them this ramp control, gets an early kill, but that leaves him vulnerable, needs the support now as through the smoke he finds the spray down onto a second. These rifles need to be a little careful. The techs can do a lot of heavy lifting, but plenty of bodies there to swing in and just make sure they overwhelm those pistols before they can get too much damage done. Nicely worked by the CT side. And I mean, as much as it's felt like one-way traffic at moments, 9 are hanging on in there, Dean.
Yeah, one thing I want to note is Nora, it looks like he's playing with confidence, which can be very difficult when you're stepping in as a coach and you're looking at the opposing team and saying, wow, these guys, they do this daily. I'm normally just chilling in that coach slot, but he's willing to take peeks. And sure, it backfired a little bit, for example, on that round over towards B, but you don't want them playing super cautious. So the fact that Nora looks comfortable here in his own skin, it is a good thing. We'll see if that keeps up or not, as we have a 5-5 scoreline, neck and neck. Might remain this way up till the end of the half, potentially, although the loser in this round won't have a lot to fund the final round. There's a lot on the line right now. To dink there with the AK. I believe actually through one of his teammates, as eventually a second kill is going to be taken. It was a team assist actually from Nickelback, as one win have just been completely dismantled on the ramp. Boomich crept around in through the alley somehow, and they do know they have a player trapped on sandbag, so maybe there is still some hope.
There's kills to be had here, and Travis has got it. Still a 2-on-3, but a much more workable position than the 5-on-3 they found themselves in. CT side not quite aware what's going on here either. Got to play a little more passively. Goofy's worked his way into a fantastic position down the ladder. He holds the key to any kind of a rotation off towards this B site for now. And Boomlich is starting to think about that possibility. Knows it's likely somebody is holding this somewhere, but just not quite able to adjust the spray in time to deal with Goofy. That's now bombed down. And with 40 seconds left, CT side could reasonably look to escape down the ladder, and that's exactly what they're doing. It does buy a little bit of time, though, for Travis, and if he's not heard here, he's going to have a very swift backstab onto pretty much the entirety of this CT side. 30 seconds left on the clock to try and knit together a little bit of magic. Goes silent, goes quiet, tries to buy himself a little bit of space. He's got to get down this ladder first of all, and that is not going to be an easy feat. Hades is watching for the possibility, and the Tech-9 spam will connect. 9 regain the lead at 6-5, and with a rough force to come through, they could be in a very solid position at the end of this half.
Yeah, after a rough start as well, so they've definitely turned things around.
For what it's worth as well, obviously HLTV doesn't split the stats by game, which always makes it a little bit more difficult to draw anything from it, but both of these teams are T-sided. One win more so than 9 in their history of Vertigo, so the fact that 9 are hanging on in there on the CT side, and well, they've guaranteed themselves at least equal pegging at the half is good. Boomich, though, is looking to make sure it doesn't get any better for them. Just drive by onto the coach. That Tech-9, the most frustrating thing in the world at times, and it nets one win the man advantage to start this round off. You can see the response wanted and landed by KEiiiii. Takes the dink on the chin and deals with Forrester. Buys the 4-on-4, but again, Goofy perhaps just a little bit overextended, leaves himself vulnerable and leaves KEiiiii in what surely has to be an impossible position here. He's being clutched out from 2 angles at once, somehow gets a kill on each, and buys his team a much-needed lifeline here. Hades goes one better, deals with Boomich, and buys the 2-on-1 deco. A lot has been said about this youngster. A lot has been said about his potential. Can he pull it off now? KEiiiii has actually swapped to the USP to give the full HP Hades the best possible chance on this M4A4, and KEiiiii is going to lead the charge. That pistol just looking to flush out the bodies, and Hades gets his kill. 7-5 as we head into the halftime. 9, a fantastic CT side on Vertigo as we go to the break. Well, 9 have laid the foundation here. 7-5 up as they head to their preferred T side. A huge opportunity to find the upset up against OneWin, and they are charging up the A ramp to take early contact. CT flashes, however, are good, and Boomich is doing better. 2 quick kills. Nickel back in with a third. And this pistol, well, it's fallen apart just seconds in. For Goofy and Hades, it just turns to absolute carnage. Hades able to get at least a 1-for-1, but Goofy's now out in no man's land up against the full force of OneWin. There is nothing he can do, and that is just the start OneWin needed.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of more one-sided pistol rounds. The second ones, anyway, usually. Made that one look easy. The Glocks, I mean, they were a little bit spread out, I guess, on their way up ramp there. It's easy kills. Everyone on OneWin was able to just step back and keep those advantages, and it was 9 just under pressure the whole time. They do want to go straight in for the buy, though, despite not finding a bomb plant. But if took the one eco, came out with some rifles and limited utility, instead they want to press the issue here and now, believing that they can perhaps steal it away. And I mean, 3 Mac 10s, a Scout and a Tech 9, it's not terrible. We did see OneWin find success with less in their previous half on that T side.
It's scary. It's scary.
They've got heavy
There's a lot of
rifles
potential here.
Not a lot of utility.
Yeah, it's understandable. OneWin aware of the threat of a second round force buy from the T side. They've got to be careful here as the Mac 10s look to charge on in. It's an early 1-for-1. Nickelback does manage to retreat to the relative safety of sight, though. And now it starts to splinter and get a little bit awkward. The crossfire's established. Boomich and Nickelback combine well. By themselves a 2-on-3. Hades still stuck on that scout. Goofy at least has managed to salvage himself an M4A1, but he needs some quick kills here, and he's finding them as well. Nickelback goes down into the 2-on-2. Both CT players playing this very cautiously from the elevators. Just hoping that those smokes will fade away and buy themselves a little bit of space. They're also not necessarily convinced that this is going to be the A hit at the end of the day. There is still options for 9. Hades has managed to recover himself a Tech as a secondary, which is a very promising pistol in a situation like this. And oh, Boomich. This could be dangerous. He's opted to go very proactively into it. Hades finds the 1-for-1. That's a rifle recovered. 25 seconds on the clock. What's the decision to be made? He wants to go to B. CT side, you can see Travis just playing for the sound cues. We'll hear it as he starts to make his approach in. Hades knows that bomb plant would be absolutely everything for the T-side economy, and Travis is playing this so smart, so quiet, so gentle, giving Hades nothing. 8 seconds left. He's got to try and fake that bomb out, and it's not going to land. Travis gets his man, saves OneWin from what could have been a catastrophic round loss, level things out at 7 apiece, and we've really got a game on our hands now, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, didn't even have time to get his gun back out there, unfortunately, after tapping the bomb. Just, as you said, didn't really have the time to get that one done. But, I mean, considering what they went into the round with, they can be happy that they brought it so close. Because, again, it was heavy on the rifles for OneWin. I think they had one SMG maybe in play. Everyone else was on those M4s. So the heavy reinvestment once again comes in. And, I mean, this time, sure, there's not a lot to do to damage, but if they can even get 2, maybe 3 kills with these pistols, it would be worthwhile. It give them a chance to still spring back to life as soon as they get the guns out in the next round. So
that's got to be the idea. 3 Deagles, you've got to be looking for picks.
Yeah. Heavy towards B, though, in the early stages.
Yeah, not necessarily where you'd expect to see Deagles, and they're getting picked off early. Travis and Boomich with a headshot apiece. Not the best of starts, and, well, it's going from bad to worse here. The MP9 fancies a bit of a farm, and there's just nothing these pistols can do. The aggression works out nicely for OneWin. It's a flawless round, which is just what the doctor ordered. Gets their finances back in order, gives them the lead in this map. And as 9 get the rifles out, you've got to imagine maybe there's a bit of a rethink here. They've had a couple of ideas. Those Mac 10s very nearly worked for them. What do you do when the full rifles are in play for the very first time?
Question. 2 MP9s still for OneWin. We might see something a bit more aggressive, perhaps down towards the bottom of that A ramp even, and well, that looks like it could be something they're definitely considering with Nickelback in the front of this pack. Utility though already put down. There's a player pushed up on the ramp, so I was going to say they can't really afford to get too aggressive, but Forrester tries to peek. Emphasis on tries as he gets cut down.
I don't think he was necessarily aware of that gap in the side of the smoke.
Yeah.
Looked like he wanted to swing, pre-fire down the ramp a bit, and then fall off, and instead he just goes right into a gap that KEiiiii is ready and waiting for.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really
big
count from
opening
that
kill
angle until you've already committed to it, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's a big kill to find, though. Man advantage now for the T side to try and leverage. Gaps in the defense for them to try and find. And, well, xTRAVIS is having none of it. It's really shown up in this second map so far. Only a 1-for-1, though, as Norok continues to just boost his playing credentials here. He's doing a fantastic job. Keeps his team in it 4-on-3. Bomb yet to commit. They're not sure necessarily which site they want to give this a go with. They're looking like now they are decided on this B split. Plenty of presence for it, but just 35 seconds left on the clock, and the clock has been issues for them before. CT side with plenty of presence in towards this B site as well. They've got Boomich and Nickelback ready and waiting to receive this hit. And Boomich spotted, but information gathered. He'll back away as the HE rings out. 20 seconds on the clock now. This bomb has got to start making its way up to B imminently, and they've got to deal with this push, but it's Deco instead with a late backstab for 2, and that information is just too late propagating through 9. They buy so much time lurking around the bottom of the ramp that Deco pushes on in for the backstab, ruins the hopes of 9, and that may well sink them here on Vertigo.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit out of hand, to say the least. It looks like they want to buy up into this, or at least KEiiiii wants to go for the hero rifle. They have full loss bonus, so he'll still have enough money to get his investment in the next round as well. But yeah, 1 hero AK, some pistols, and a chance for 1 win to get themselves onto double digits here already. Positive is, I guess, that CT economy, while it's starting to build up, hasn't really done so yet. So if 9 can potentially again knock them down a peg here, then they might have a shot at getting the break with just a round win, as Forrester already picks up that opening kill. Bit of nade damage on the KEiiiii as well, which is not going to make things any easier for him.
They need some damage here, 9. They need at least a few kills, especially out of this hero AK, and KEiiiii is providing. Adjusts beautifully after the initial pick to nab a second, and he's looking for more. He's got Boomich. 3 kills out of that hero AK down towards the ramp, and xTRAVIS is desperately isolated over on B as a result. KEiiiii are able to deal with that, and suddenly this round looks more than damage worthy. It looks viable. Deco on the Crocodile, last man up. A little bit of individual heroics from KEiiiii, who has really stepped up in this second map, and it's going to be 9 with an 8th. As you said, starting to look down those finances. I mean, they should be able to get this buy together here, 1 win. Deco's got a drop in him. Nickelback probably the same, but they are starting to struggle, and 9 should be able to fathom a way back into this one now. Another miracle round pulled out of their back pocket when the going gets tough. It seems to be their specialty at the moment.
Yeah, I would like to see them stabilize on the gun rounds as well, where it seems like 1 win do tend to be looking a little bit better now. KEiiiii, though, as you said, came alive there out of nowhere. I mean, he hasn't necessarily been one of the players we've been looking towards. No one's had a bad game by any means, so I don't want to call anyone out, but I don't think he's popped off in too many situations and taken a double or a triple kill like that. So if he can keep up form like that, if you have Nora still playing decently, if you have KEiiiii and xTRAVIS performing, then yeah, there definitely is the chance for 9 to get themselves back into this, but there's a lot still riding on this gun round here and now, with the full investment in again from 1 win. Main weakness, I guess, being that shotgun, which isn't terrible. Lots of positions you can use it here on this map. Ooh, not a great start though.
xTRAVIS with an early pick, and KEiiiii is just up in the pace here a second, almost immediately onto Forrester. Deco knows he has to stabilize this situation and manages to get at least the 1. Norok, though, able to react onto the low HP player and keeps his team in the ascendancy. 1 win to try and stitch together a 2-on-4 situation here. I mean, xTRAVIS up close and personal. It's not the worst place in the world for this shotgun to be. Problem is, Boomich is nowhere near at the moment. He's on a very long flanking mission. And Goofy's on one of his own out in mid, so this starts to get very sketchy. And you've got to imagine, realistically, this CT side are looking to save. Goofy not aware whatsoever that Boomich is actually behind him and has been this whole time, so should go down. Oh, the timing is ugly, and it gets Goofy a little bit of an opening. I mean, it's only the XM that's lost, but Goofy gets another big kill. Boomich's position in a lot of jeopardy here as well. xTRAVIS does need to be a little cautious. Don't want to be losing that AWP to a late rifle, and Well, Boomich has managed to thread the needle here, so he may well do so or not. Hades is having none of it. We level out at 9 apiece, and what a way to find it. Charging up that ramp. Hades on the AWP with an early pick. KEiiiii continuing to find impact. The Force Buy just falls apart for one win, and they've got what surely has to be a full eco to follow it.
Yeah, I mean, again, the momentum just manages to swing back in favor of 9.
It's carnage, man. Absolute carnage.
Yeah, they've got 5-7 and a Deagle on that CT side alongside a couple of nades. If Woodwind somehow managed to get away with anything in this round, more than just a couple of kills, then that would be a big disappointment for 9. They've only really begun to stabilize. That economy's okay now, sure, but if they can take this round with 5 players alive, as ideally they should be able to, with so little investment for one win, then they're going to be in a prime position to set themselves up for potentially towards the rest of the half almost. So, yeah, one win. They do desperately need to do some damage here. Only to clear that close corner. No one in there. Instead, it is a bit of a B stack, sure, but as you can see, they're all back towards that bomb site itself. 3 pistols to deal with. The nade coming through. KEiiiii just about drops down. But I think at this point should be happy enough with that 1 kill. They've still got a ton of time on the clock.
Yeah, no need to overcommit to this. I mean, they are still giving it a good prod and a poke here, including Hades on that AWP, but as they continue to find impact, should just be a matter of continuing to thin those numbers further, not giving away too much to these USPs. And, well, it does get a little awkward. Maybe the T side want to start reconsidering the plans and bail out onto A now instead. Need to be a little conscious of that clock. As you said, they had plenty of time a little while back, but now 45 seconds left. Still a Deagle out on A. I think they're hoping that just showing that little bit of presence will start to draw the rotations. Not to be, though, and there is still presence out here. 2 pistols ready and waiting for this hit to come through. Good damage done by both of them, but KEiiiii and KEiiiii are having none of it. Down to 2 HP, KEiiiii finds his man, and then KEiiiii with a nice swift headshot gets his. That'll be double digits on the board for 9. The half buy yields no results for 1 win. And I mean, this has got to be a huge confidence booster for 9. You know, you absolutely demolish 1 win on their map pick. You go to a map that is tough for you at the moment. It's not a map you're finding a lot of success on as of late. And it's a map that 1 win are feeling very confident on. 7 map win streak, let's not forget, for them on Vertigo. And you are scrapping it right down to the last. And I think scrapping it is exactly the right word, because it has been an absolute mess, this one. Some games of CS, you get a nice ebb and a flow and an idea of the timings and pace and control going back and forth. This one has just been a bar fight, and it continues to be, as Nickelback able to get 1 on the exit, but he's quickly traded down. They won't mind that at all. And this could be the critical round now, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, every round over these past few especially has been incredibly critical, but this could be potentially the last good round for 1 win. If they lose this, they will not have a lot going into the next one, and would probably even be forced onto an eco to play for the overtime. So, as you said, it's basically do or die here for 1 win. What do they have in mind? Smoke down towards the bottom of ramp. They might try the aggression, but it has been denied already a couple of times. This time not leaving the opening for that off to be able to pick up any early openings. Smokes are down, and well, the rifles do still want to press the issue from 9. KEiiiii played in around
just got 1 though.
Yeah, I believe back towards B, it seems, with that aggression coming through. They've actually got 2 players who went aggressive. Found out that there's no one else hanging around these stairs, so they have a bit of info that it's likely favored around A and potentially mid, which we can see there is a little bit of probing going on from Hades as well.
MP9 goes down to low HP, but they won't mind that. SMG getting even an initial pick is huge, and you can see Boomich has set himself up now to maintain that control. On a deep old angle, Travis potentially looking to come and support, and this is a very tough angle to clear. Travis puts himself on an even nastier one, and this is going to be very tough. Boomich looking to bait him in, but Goofy's got the better of the first. Boomich's spray a little awkward, and Norok takes full advantage. Somehow, 9 are looking to drag this one back. Molotov goes in. Hades is ready for this exact rotation and gets his mark. Deco goes down. Forester is alone on that B site, but meanwhile, he's lost his teammates on A. Forester gets 1. But with the A bomb site wide open for the taking, that's irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. Goofy was already hightailing it out. They know exactly where to look for the last man. Bomb will go down. And realistically, as you said, Dean, this is probably an eco half buy to follow to try and play for OT. So saving that rifle becomes a higher priority. Forester starts to tuck himself away, and 9 will have their 11th round.
Forrester left desperately wondering what has happened. He was the man who gave them chances early in this game as well. He clinched out a couple of rounds for them that were vital for them to even, as we know in that first half, get themselves into the game. Played well, but these last few rounds have just been, unfortunately, too much to handle. No weapons going to be saved either. KEiiiii eventually getting that pick. 11-9. One win, as I had mentioned, now are likely looking at the eco to play for an overtime. They can get a few pistols, some body armor and such, maybe, since they do have full loss bonus, but they don't have what they need for the full investment. So it's likely 3 in a row needed for the OT. No, maybe not. They want to go for it. M4 body armor and boom it. It could be just the one hero rifle, but not too sure.
I mean, there's 3,400 loss bonus. So even if he heroes it here, he can still get an SMG into the next. Still arguably get a FAMAS and a little bit extra. So understandable. Rest of the teammates a little more conservative in their approach. Problem is, Goofy, even full blind, has managed to deal with Nickelback early. Initial aggression from one of those pistols nullified. And now it's about Boomich on that hero rifle. How much can he realistically get as Forrester is being pressed off the B site all the while? That hero rifle still looking to push down the A ramp. Well, now 9 know what's coming. They know they've got a flank coming in behind them. They know they've got to get into this B bomb site fast, and fast is exactly what they manage. Travis able to trade at least for one, but it's quickly taken apart. 2 on 3, CT side with a decision to make. Boomich hero rifled into this round. He could do with holding on for it or winning the round instead. Finds the late lurk of Goofy, and that may well tempt them into this one. They've got 2 rifles. Deco has managed to recover. KEiiiii's playing close because he's still suspecting a flank, but it's not going to come through. Boomich reads the position of the first. Now Deco looking for the swing, looking for the trade. KEiiiii's is isolated, but he finds his man, finds his shot, and finds 12. 3 opportunities now for 9 to put this to bed, 2-0, and they are looking on a hot streak of form.
Yeah, I mean, as I had mentioned before, there's I think one win and won their last like 16 best of 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they lost the best of 1 before those 7, and then they won 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and only in 2 or 3 of those games had they even lost the map. So the fact that 9, with their coach as a stand-in, have come in and made this look as great as they have. I didn't want to say easy because there's been challenges definitely throughout both maps, but yeah, they have looked to be in the driver's seat the majority of the time. An opening kill again on Boomich. Yeah, he's been the top fragger there for 1 win as well. Not a good player to be losing early on.
KEiiiii looking to be cheeky around the edge of the smokes has started to get some support into it as well. They do pop the smoke with the HE though, and that leaves players lining up. Forrester gets Nora. There's more where that came from though, and they think they've realised that they've got KEiiiii stuck into this corner now. Molotov goes in to flush him out. Should be a relatively free kill, and indeed it is. The Flames getting it. Travis finds 1 more, and this round's starting to fall apart. 1 win. They were never going to go quietly, and they are not looking to here. Deco deals with Hades, and for Goofy, well, the initial pick is all they've managed to find on KEiiiii. He's left to try and salvage something out of this round. 16 HP. I mean, they've got good money to buy into the next, so the more he can take away from this CT side, the better. Gets his man. Nickelback goes down. You look across that T-side economy. Hades on 12k, Goofy on 10. This is before the loss bonuses come in. So they're going to keep on buying. It's just a matter of how much damage can you do to the next round buy for this CT side. 2 kills will be all they wrote. 10 double digits for 1 win. And an opportunity to keep on fighting here. The buy will be good for them. The drops can happen. 2 more bites at it for 9 before OT beckons.
We do another crazy overtime game as we got yesterday. We ended like 22-20 in the end, was it?
It feels like it's entirely possible here because this has just been about individuals. There really hasn't been anything particularly tactical about this Vertigo. It's been fast and loose. Feels like it could go either way. This time Goofy has been run boosted round the angle, and Hades is just going to pick a man early. Over the top of the smoke, he gets Forrester on the A ramp. Man advantage for the second round on the trot for this T side. Let's see if they can hold on to it on this one.
Yeah, I was gonna say even if 9 lost this round, they'd still have the economy to put up a fight in the next one, but with an opening kill already going their way, the pressure is definitely mounted on 1 win. Hades is gifted another frag. Nickelback does not want to stick around as he hears a couple of warning shots coming his direction as well. It's Hades, though, who keeps on pushing in towards the alley. I don't think Nickelback's going to expect this. Never mind, Boomich is already watching it, and nade in towards the scaffolding as well. Doesn't quite land on Nora, actually.
KEiiiii is all the way up mid. He's going to get a freebie. Looks for two. Nails it. It's xTRAVIS just unaware that was even a possibility. B bomb site is wide open for the taking here, and they're starting to realize it now. KEiiiii drops the utility to keep Nickelback so far isolated from this fight. Bomb will make its transition. 1v4 to contend with. He's not been quiet about it either. Position is known at this point. This will take a miracle. As that bomb slowly but surely ticks away, surely spells the demise of one win in this best of three. Flawless so far in Group D, but 9. Second in the group are looking to be too much of an opposition. Nickelback gets 1. It's the coach who goes down. His team are there for him. However, it's 13-10. It's a clean 2-0 from 9. I mean, I don't think in any reality we were expecting that to be a possibility, especially considering the changes that have gone on today. But they just played fast, they played loose, and they played to their individual strengths, and it worked out brilliantly.